Doesn't mean that we all should be stuck together with some glue or something, or we all become like Gibraltar, rock of Gibraltar. No, it doesn't mean that. It means wherever you are connected. That is collectivity. But if you are not connected and you are just glued together, it's very inconvenient to live under such circumstances. I think people don't even understand the meaning of collectivity. Where there's not the other, ananya, where there's not the other, there's no other personality. These personalities are separated from you because of left and right, or could be both. But you are yourself fully when you are absolutely detached and your Kundalini is dancing, you are alone and never alone. This oneness with the whole gives you all the security that you want, all the joy you want. And that's why Kundalini awakening means collectivity. Think of the tree which is, say, in a turmoil or during earthquake. It won't grow. When the earthquake stops, everything becomes quiet, everything is peaceful, then only the tree can grow. In the same way, our growth can only take place if we are peaceful within ourselves. So, for a Kundalini growing wider and wider and rising higher and higher, first thing is we must have peace within ourselves. But this peace is possible if you can make really peace with others. If you cannot make peace with others who are in Sahaja Yoga, who are in the collective, if you are in a turmoil, this Kundalini can never rise. That is why collectivity is so important. Without collectivity, your Vishuddhi cannot open. And without collectivity, you cannot have the growth of your spirituality. If the growth of the spirituality, as they say, the tree of life is upside down and the roots are in the brain. And this Kundalini has to go and water that brain as we water the roots. Then it starts flowing downward. And that's how we start expanding. Now, Mother has said we have to have compassion. Now, where do you have our compassion? On the walls, where do we use our compassion? Where do we use our compassion? So, Sahaja Yoga is to be practiced, doesn't mean that you sit down with my photograph all the time. It doesn't mean that. It means you practice compassion. You practice that. Then you have to practice love. Now, how do you practice love with others? If you love someone, what do? You try to please that person. Small things can make people very happy. I know you all try to please me very much. You'll give me presents, you'll find out things which are good for me, you'll go out of the way, buy sweet flowers for me. Beautiful things you do to please me. I am over pleased, I must tell you. But I am more pleased, much more pleased, if you understand collectivity and try to please each other. So now the practice love, where do you practice? Ask you a question. Where do I practice love? What do I love? Love our house, we love our photographs, our decorations, everything. But do I practice this love on my wife or on my husband or on other surgeries? In our Sahaj culture, we have to practice compassion and love. And thirdly, we have to practice patience. I know some children are maybe little more mischievous, some are less mischievous. Maybe some people are very talkative. Sometimes really they give me also a headache. They go on talking so much. Sometimes I think it's good because it's a rest for my mouth. One way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is just switch off your mind, let him talk, take it out, whatever he wants to talk. Once he is finished with it and fagged out, then he won't bother you much. And also he'll feel satisfied that somebody has listened to his practice. So patience is needed. And patience is needed in such a way that others should see your patience. Yesterday, for example, I was sitting for about, I think, 3 hours shaking hands with all sorts of people and all types of problems. And the person who came last, he said, looking at your patience, I developed my own patience. And love gives you patience. This love nourishes you. I'm telling you, it's absolutely down to earth method. Here I have not mentioned that you trust God. I'm just saying trust yourself. Now we have been saying that we have to forgive everyone. But we don't practice that. Small things like mad people we remember. Only I had heard that snake has this capacity to remember if somebody has hurt him. But here I find human beings have no less capacity. Whatever has happened 13 years back, 15 years back, they all remember each and everything. Whatever has hurt them. But how they have hurt others, they don't remember. How they have been nasty to others, don't remember. Because this is a human mind which has got the ego. It can go on hurting others, it doesn't feel anything. And the superego which goes on receiving all the hurts and always complaining about it. Meditating together is the best way to feel the collectivity. You can meditate at home, of course, you have to cleanse it for your depth, but also you must meditate together. And when you meditate together, then the strength that you have strengthens others, and the strength of the whole collectivity improves so much. We are meditating together is a very big thing. So try to grow your collectivity, otherwise you cannot go deep into your own depths. Like anger. People always boast, I'm very angry with you. Boast. But just make that anger into forgiveness. And you'll see the person, instead of you getting into problems, he will get into problems. Anger will upset you, but forgiveness will upset him automatically. It's the biggest weapon you have got is to forgive. And this is shown in Buddha's character throughout. Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. Sangha means collectivity. I surrender myself to the collectivity. So here, in complete awareness, you cannot be mesmerized. If you are mesmerized, then you can live whatever way you like. But in complete awareness and full understanding, we have to become collective. But once you are without ego, means you have surrendered yourself. No one can cheat you. Can you understand that? No one can cheat you. Because there is some higher force which is looking after. This is the way we should understand Buddha. This is, we should know our Buddha qualities. This is how our ego can be dissolved. And then you laugh at everything. You make fun of yourself. Last but not the least, one must understand that as all the 7 chakras I am working on are in a collective way held by me, by Virata, the quality of Viratangana is that she creates this universal awareness within us, the collectivity. And if you do not realize that in modern times we are in a spiritual path in a collective way only, this is what it is. Because we have reached to the state of Sastra. And here we have to have a collective working only, there's no other way out. This is the most important point we must know. If we cannot be collective, because of anything, jealousy maybe, inferiority complex, maybe anything which is coming from behind, like a worm crawling up, then know that something wrong with you, nothing wrong with the collectivity. I hope you'll understand my vision and you'll stand by me. You'll come up to that. I depend on you entirely for my vision. We have to change this whole world into a beautiful place. For that, not much sacrifice is needed. You are already blessed. You don't have to do much. Only thing is keep your attention on the source of power. May God bless you.